Hey guys, welcome back to a session one, actually, which is a bit funny.
A session one.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes down to it, Alistar ended up being told to go elsewhere due to a little situation that's going on with Aaron, the current sheriff of the town. And let's just say our little private detective is kind of losing his mind and not sure what to think due to the fact that he ended up being talked down by a 11-year-old and unsure what to think of as of right now.
Accurate.
And they end up meeting two new people, including the fact that Arthur ended up talking to the mayor of the little old town of New Blood. But unfortunately, they don't know that. But Alistar does. But when it comes down to it, Cypher ended up asking Willow to teach her when it comes down to Pacific spells or knowledge when it comes down to the old voided century. In our little news report, basically ended up having a little mental breakdown and decided to cry herself into a corner. Unsure of what just happened, right? They're nearly being shot at, near death experience at the head by a Spanish elven woman who has been profusely trying to apologize, but ended up deciding to curse in Spanish to herself as she ends up walking away. Yeah,
Winged.
that,
I love
but
grown man versus the 11-year-old round two.
yeah. So as of right now, uh, we're gonna end up coming back to the little lodge that we do have currently. I'll end up moving this to the side because he's not there. Yeah, he has it currently still at the lodge. Willow, at this point, did eventually leave with Cypher in tow.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would end up saying it as well. What would Arthur end up doing in this moment, since he's not getting used to hearing all sorts of information? Especially since he only came here to just do a job, to just bring a kid back.
All right. I'm gonna. Well, Arthur's gonna head to the police station just to see if by records things like this have happened before. If it's just a kid. If something like this is, if it has happened before from other people, if they've been able to prevent it from happening continuously, if they found a way to stop it, just to get some records.
Um, well, certainly, I will pull back the map.
Roan, we know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. So,
I'm not sorry.
I know. So, again, I will end up actually moving Cypher in this little direction here.
Yeah, because right now it's just Cassandra and Arthur in that building.
Yeah, it's just Arthur and Cassandra in the hunting lodge currently, And when it comes down to Al's door, which did end up moving in the wrong direction, it'll end up being right here.
Alright.
But-
So I'm gonna look for the police department just to see if I can find any records or something like that of potential things happening, like what has happened with the kid of being teleported here somehow by his own accord, by doing it himself on accident.
Well, when it comes down to it, I would end up rolling a perception check, if you will.
Alrighty. $11.
Um,
Classic.
yeah, you do eventually like leave the lodge to just have Cassandra there, just to calm down for a bit more. And you did end up making sure to put her in a separate room before you end up signing out. As you end up heading out and pretty much towards the direction towards the town, you do not know where the sheriff's office is. So you end up deciding to ask for directions or possibly end up finding a post that has a map on it that shows the layout of the town itself. You do eventually, about like 5 or 6 minutes more, right after about like an hour since you end up started walking towards the center of the town a bit, but still on the outskirts. You did end up eventually find a post that has the layout of the map of the town. And for 1 minute, you did end up taking a look at it. And you do end up realizing that the sheriff's office is pretty much on the same outskirts in the bottom left of the map that you're currently looking at, but it would end up being right about here.
Alright.
And so it'll take you about like a couple minutes or so more, depending on how you end up walking. Would you end up wanting to run or speed walk? It's up to you on how you end up doing it.
Just normal walking, not even gonna try to do exercise. He's just taking in the sights as he's walking to the PD.
Gotcha.
Trying to get himself familiarized with the environment that he is extremely new to.
Gotcha. So, when you do end up coming across this sheriff's office, it is pretty small compared to like the modernized offices that you have gone to work on cases or small cases such as this. But when it comes down to the sheriff's office building, it is pretty rustic with a hint of yellow paint littered across the building on the outside. And there's a small little sign that's overhanging on the top of the door, which is a two-way door with two doors on both opposite sides of you, since you're looking at the doorway. And pretty much on top of the doorway itself, pretty much reads the Sheriff Office of New Moon.
Well, time to make myself acquainted with police. Normally this goes well, but I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere in the bayou, so pretty much it's gonna be anything that comes out from there.
Rune,
Mm-hmm.
curious, check your DMs.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, make sure to not show the DMs on the recording.
I have done that, so.
Oh boy.
No, more like not showing it.
Okay, good.
Just to point that out.
I'm gonna just walk up to the door fixing my clothes from walking so much, getting some of the dirt off, and then just knock on the door.
Gotcha.
Let me get my ID real quick. Yeah.
Look at you being all civilized.
It's not like private investigators actually have an ID that says private investigator.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some do.
And so, would you please roll a perception check?
Okay. Here we go again. 22.
Can I say it? Can I say it? Rune, can I?
Yes, go ahead, because you're going to be
You
the
hear
one describing this.
okay, you hear loud howling the moment you get near the door, ready to open it. And this howl, one particular howl, sounds like a voice you heard earlier today.
Uh, Odd, but I ain't gonna judge at this point. Just hello, is anyone gonna open the door? Any cops inside, or the sheriff or something? Anyone?
But are you
I'm
stepping
standing out here.
inside?
No, I'm politely waiting for them to open the door.
No one's there. No
Yeah,
one's there.
I,
Quite
I
literally.
would, I would end up describing on the inside since you are kind of looking for the doorway. It is a glass door. You do
Alright.
see a desk on side, and you see like a board that has a couple papers on it. You do see like information such as like mysterious cases of missing items missing, or people who have been living in New Moon disappear on the right side of the desk, but it is fairly clean. It is open. You do see a couple more desks that are like empty. So you would end up saying there's only like one person that is currently working there, but you don't see a sign that says it's closed.
I'm just gonna just walk in slowly and just go
And
to the desk that has
The
like all the
back door
papers.
is the back room door is open.
yeah,
On full display.
yep.
You walk in on a werejackal, a black and golden furred werejackal, and a white werewolf going to town on each other. Bent
By
over the
the
desk.
fucking Lord, Jesus Christ! Do you know there's something called a house that you could do this at? Not your workplace, god damn
And then you just hear
me.
slow
I
gruntle.
would say sorry, but fuck me.
Okay, let me see if I can get this. Well, you're the one who didn't fucking knock, now did you?
I did knock multiple times. I went inside because the door's open. It's not my fault that me up. Then I show the fucking ID. The private fucking investigator's here to do a goddamn job, and the fucking
Suddenly,
cops are hugging
suddenly,
each other.
suddenly, it's as Alistair gets bitten, he turns back into his half elf form.
Ah, it's you. Of course it is. Great. Can I go on and do my job at this point? And for the love of God, get a goddamn house.
Immediately,
Or go out into the woods at this point. Be in the natural habitat or some damn shit. But not in the goddamn police department. This is
okay, here's something. Okay, I have something for this. I have something. Out an ant crawling on Arthur's shoulder starts to comes up towards his ear, getting heavier and heavier until he has a very familiar tail poking him in the forehead as 60 pounds of child appears on top of him.
The moment the child is there, the first instinct is, God, don't look! And just grab him and make him look away. Clearly, this God,
Covers his eyes.
just gonna pick up the child, take him outside, plop him down outside, close the door, go back and just ignore everything, just walk to the desks to start looking through documents. God damn, God, son. I
I'm
wish
Out,
just.
I wish I could have
out,
just been working back at the damn big city. Why'd I take this? I'd rather had lost my goddamn license at this point.
outside, Adrian is going, that's nothing, Dick. You've never walked in on your parents before, I take it.
It's something called common decency, but God damn it, what? Let me just sift through these documents. I wish I had a fucking earbuds or something. Fucking.
It gets louder in the back room.
I'm gonna shoot a gun in that room and make them go into a house at this point. Oh, God, I'm just gonna start shifting through documents trying to find, but I'm so annoyed, but I'm still trying to focus on my job.
Gets louder, more hype,
You could go close
shriller.
the door.
Or just take my gun out, just walk to the door and shoot into the ceiling. Just, can we get a damn fucking break of you guys going to a damn house?
Immediately in response, there is a shot fired at his feet. In return,
I shot the ceiling. Why you shoot at me?
well, you shot the ceiling, so I shot the floor.
Yeah, I shot the ceiling above me. You shot at my feet.
It's technically below you now.
Uh,
Shut the ceiling above.
can you three fuckers, for the love of fuck, just go to a house? There's no goddamn, like, you could go to the woods and be yourselves, but not in the damn police. Do you all have any damn decency? Here's a police department. You bring criminals in here. Really? Really? I know I'm from the big city and a lot of things are different from here to there, but at least a police department's a police department. It has a specific job.
They are clearly not listening to you.
Yeah. No wonder people are missing and disappearing and dying. Jeez, fuck. Police can't even do their goddamn job. I'm just gonna walk back to the desk and look through all the documents, meaning every damn word I said.
No fucks given by the two of them.
Ugh, this is goddamn annoying. I just start shifting through the papers, just sighing and just like, is there anything here that makes sense of what's going on?
If you
Appearance
remember,
is none of that. Teleporting, anything in any of these documents, people going missing, people. Wait, this is weird. People. All right, okay, I'll keep that one for later. Uh, none of these. Maybe I have to check. I can't even go fucking back there because the three of them are back there.
3 of them, there's only 2.
You described 3 different people: a full black, black and gold, and full white. You described 3.
No! Alistair's fur is gold and black.
Thank you. Then why'd you say a full black, black and gold, and white?
No, there's only 2.
Good.
I said black and gold, one with black and gold fur and one that was pure white.
Yeah.
Because I said jackal.
So I can't even go back there. They're back there. I can't.
Adrian's still outside.
I know I'm an atheist, but Lord Jesus,
You know,
give,
mister,
give me some restraint right now to not punt a kid at this point. Like, oh my god.
Adrian comes in. Mister?
What? I'm not in the mood right now.
He grabs onto frickin'
My goodness.
Arthur's shirt. Here,
What?
let me help. And they warp
Why
about
the?
a good block away. You said you wanted them to get a room.
So you moved me out of preventing me from doing my goddamn. Oh my
No. Again.
Let me the
Let,
fuck go. I'm just
hold
gonna say
on.
it like this. No, just let me fucking go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Because Adrian points, and immediately as he points, a massive explosion of bubbles hits, and the house stop. I told you.
Just let me go.
Hold on. Just give it a few more moments. They'll be back to normal. And they'll
Can
be
I
properly dressed.
can I get to my fucking job? Do my job.
Oh.
Fine. Alistair is like, the boy claps.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. Arthur finds himself falling into this pool of water here.
Just
He's
slowly
having
get
a
out
hard
of
time.
it. Just anger's just boiling in my head. Just
Adrian tried to warn him. Adrian tried. It's like, give it a few moments, and then they'll be too embarrassed to do anything, and they'll be gone for you to look at the file in peace.
they want my fucking phone, my documents, my notebook. They want fucking everything. Now
Yeah.
everything's fucking wet. Fucking stupid fucking kid. I swear to God. Just like taking everything out of the bag, taking off the jean jacket and putting it on a tree just so that it dries. Just standing there pretty much just shirtless and just leaving everything to dry. It's just great. Great. Just great. Just great. I want.
Anyway,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
while the whole shenanigan is going on with Arthur and the 11-year-old, the inter fact that he did end up walking on a very inappropriate scene, we're gonna cut back to Cypher.
Okay.
And let's just say, after a very, very long conversation, Cypher would end up eventually kind of get herself dressed, while Willow, on the other hand, is kind of sitting there on her couch, flustered as hell, with a very flushed red face, as she's kind of just now sitting on her couch wearing a white weight blouse dress. And she's kind of just awkwardly just sitting there, just kind of just looking away, on any other corner she can see in the room, just so she can not think about what just happened.
So, how do you feel now?
I'm not gonna say anything. That's for certain.
Jeez. Are you saying it was that bad?
No. I didn't say that. It's just
I mean, because from the sounds you were making, you really were enjoying yourself. Hmm. So, you still need help with the festival, yeah?
Well, yes. In regards to it, I would end up having to go into town and help out.
Is this going to be an all-day thing? Because I'd like to come back and have another long, long conversation.
Not really. Just a
Hmm.
couple of walkabouts and probably talking about what supplies are needed. And then you might end up seeing me back here again. Who knows?
Oh, I plan on seeing you. More than others get to see.
Just go on. Go on. I'm trying to calm myself right now.
Hmm. She's obviously licking her lips. Hmm. Okay, I guess I can check out the rest of the town while you recover. She's gonna grab her uh, coat and stuff, and on the way, she's going to pick up a certain something and stick it in her pocket.
For anybody who's watching, don't ask.
And she's gonna go back over to her and turn her face so she's looking at her. Do I at least get a kiss goodbye?
Yeah, she'll end up eventually give in and give her a quick smooch. I end up mispronouncing that. I meant to say smooch.
Fine. Yeah. Hmm. Both of your lips taste so sweet.
Go on.
With that, she's gonna leave the house with a smile. It's the biggest smile on her face.
All right.
Oh.
So
Mm-hmm.
since you're kind of walking out of her house with a biggest smile on your face, kind of dress disheveled, but eventually you strain yourself out. Um, yeah. What are you gonna do since you're pretty much outside of her house right now?
Uh, First, she's gonna stretch and let her wings stretch out. And thinking to herself, I can't believe I did that. And she's gonna take off in the sky. As she is trying to calm herself down. Uh, she's gonna kind of circle around, lazily circle around, kind of just getting a bird's eye view of the rest of the town.
You would kind of head towards the direction towards town. But how far are you coming towards the sky for a bit? Like 50 feet, 100 feet.
Uh, about 50 feet. So that she's above, most of the buildings.
Roll perception check.
Ooh, okay. My character sheet. There it is. I have perception. Yep, there it is. Uh, 20.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll something here. Okay. You would end up, as you're just going about to get a layout of the town, as you're flying about 50 or 50 feet
Mm-hmm.
up in the air, you do end up finding Arthur about towards your left side, about like 40 or 50 feet away from you,
Mm-hmm.
kind of getting himself undressed and squeezing out water from his pants or shirt or anything in that manner, and just kind of just flopping
From
it
all my fucking
against.
black clothes.
Yeah, and she's just feel to see that Arthur just does not seem to be happy, since he's just like going at it with the squeezing his clothes just to get the water out of it before just flopping against his laid down dead tree branch,
There you
just trying to get it to dry.
go.
Okay. She would fly. She would fly in the air and kind of land. She would land sitting on a branch near him, and she. Hey there, Mister Arthur.
Uh,
Was it?
yeah. Kindly to see you. I
Yeah.
want to strangle a child.
Oh well. I don't think you should do
Uh,
that. Being private
all my
eye.
shit's wet. My book, my notes, my documents, my fucking everything's fucking ruined. I have to now make sure my gun doesn't end up rusting. I need to find some fucking gun oil, which I had in my bag. But guess what? It also fell in the water, so that's gone now. So now I need to find some gun oil, and sure, this thing's now going to be working just fine. Be sure that the bullets aren't ruined as well, because I did fall in a fucking pond.
Oh well. And she floats down from the tree and walks over and. Oh
I'm
wow.
I'm in my underwear, so please don't touch me. Just don't. I will, even if you mean it with the goodest of intentions, I will slap you. I am in a mood of punching someone in the face right now. And I do not care who it is. I have had the worst fucking 2 days so far of my whole fucking life. And that says something. The shit I've been through. Well, it's the second worst 2 days of my life.
And and while he's like ranting and stuff, she just goes over to his stuff and just does the prestidigitation to clean and dry it out. And she's
Thanks.
you that seems like you've had a rough day.
Yeah,
Hopefully
I
this will
really, really have. Thank
hopefully this will make it better for you. Uh,
you. I would just start putting on the dried clothes on now, then just grabbing my stuff, now dried out, and just putting them into my bag, and then just letting out a sigh of that you could just tell it's just pure seething rage and anger.
you should. Do you want to talk about it? Like,
No, I just want to do my fucking job and get the fuck out of here once I've done it.
I mean, isn't your job kind of pointless? You were here for a kid who is not missing. So,
Well, according to the family, they still are. So, I still need to do my job. And eventually, and by the way, my phone's ruined. So I
oh,
can't call them. I
oh,
can't tell them that I've seen their kid and that they're with the sister and that they're fine. I can't.
let me see. She
Hands
snaps.
over, hands over the classic Nokia phone that's just been dipped in a fucking pond.
It's like, really? Nokia?
It's an
Okay.
old ass phone. It's better than the brick, at least. It's smaller, but yeah.
She's gonna look over it and, clean it, like, make sure there's no water in it. Is there a way she can check to see if she can fix it or reprogram it?
Um, roll intelligence check.
Intelligence. Should be her thing. She, she's a smart one. That's it. Roll. So 13.
Um, just barely, but you can kind of get the basic gist of it. So the only thing that you would end up needing to get the water out of it and get it fixed is have a bag of rice
I mean,
and
Ah,
she can get
thrown in the.
she can use Presto to get the water out. That's not an issue.
Yeah, but when it comes in Presto, you can easily be able to do that.
Yeah, she just Prestos, make sure it's cleaned out, and then goes through, reprograms it. Oh, there you go. Good as new.
Oh, well, that's happened for a bit. Cadence.
When the bubbly explosion went off,
Mm-hmm.
and after them being stunned, they quickly got back into focus. They're no longer in the heat of the moment, realizing what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah, so.
Quickly get dressed and start cleaning up the mess.
at this point, my catcher's just gonna kick open the door with how angry he is.
Yeah, yeah, as you end up doing that, though, uh, you would end up seeing Alistor kind of just stepping out of the back room, which you do end up realizing, Arthur, by close glance, it is pretty much the file room. Uh, and right behind Alistor, you will end up seeing a 7 foot 3 man who's dressed in this old fashioned green long dress shirt, and he has like a pair of long brown dress pants, and he has a signature sheriff badge right on his pocket, on his breast, and and from what you end up seeing, that you can definitely tell that this guy that's right behind Alistair is the sheriff because of his attire, but his hair is long, silverish gray with a braided length braid around his side of his head, and he has a scruffy beard but well kept. And as he ends up dressing up his leather vest on top of his dress shirt before he puts on his sheriff hat. And he would end up looking up and kind of noticed both you and Cypher standing at the door uh, before he's like, kind of looks towards Alistair before he ends up looking back at Arthur before he clears his throat.
Well, it looks like you two had fun. Good to know that the police are doing their due diligence.
Look, I wasn't trying to do that.
Right. You weren't in there back there like raw dogging the other one.
I'm just gonna storm right past them, giving them both a really pissed off side eye, and just go back to my fucking job before they can also see my hair is fucking wet. So I got
Uh,
that
What
I'm
I
still
miss?
dripping a bit of water. Oh, nothing. Just me trying to do my job, walking in on the sheriff and Cadence hot dogging each other. The kid ends up walking in, teleports me out, and drops me into a pond with all my shit on me still. And now my
this is
character's back at the
this
PD,
is
and
bad.
he is pissed.
This is bad. This is being recorded.
No,
That's
not
why.
at
That's
all.
You can bleep
again,
it out. You can bleep it out. You can edit it.
again, Ivan. I am sorry.
Oh,
I was beginning to lose. It's like for like a good 5-10 minutes. I forgot we were streaming.
this is the exact
No,
same
it's not
shit I
streaming.
told you.
It's not streaming. I'm recording.
Being recorded.
There's a
Oh,
difference.
It's
I thought
going.
you were. I thought you were streaming.
No, no.
There's a
Oh
good
my
chunk of
god.
the shit you said that is either gonna have to get bleeped or cut out, and then the majority of the swear words my character has said have to be bleeped.
I am so sorry. I am
Like,
so sorry. I thought we were streaming, and it's like it's the only thing I could. It's like I
That's
was like,
not
wait,
better.
she's streaming.
Not better.
No, no. It's like I step back. It's like, wait, we're streaming. Quick diversion.
diversion, drop the fucker into the water, because yeah, despite he's trying to do his job.
I'm sorry I annoyed you. This is out of character. It's like something happened. Please, just let me get away from this. Yeah. This it was desperation.
It's okay. All right, let's get back to it.
It's alright. I'm not gonna post this up on YouTube anyway because I have no clue how to fucking edit the bleeps. But either way.
Well, you could just say it's not made for kids and just leave it in.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
just rated adults. It's
And
fine.
my character's just going to look at the two of them. Notice that one of them is the sheriff, and that's just going to piss my character off a little bit more, but just stays absolutely fucking silent and just goes to the documents and keeps reading through them. They can tell my character is fucking livid.
Alistair, you end up seeing Aaron kind of just feel very uncomfortable around Arthur, especially since he's like kind of eyeing him to the side as he just slowly steps out of the filing cabinet room that the two of you end up messing around in. And
Um,
again, we're not
And
going to
I'm
go into details.
Aaron,
now go in and get the documents I need to get.
Aaron, do you still have the Dragon Fang family's records under lock and key?
Yes, why?
That's what he's looking for. He's on the case for little the little shit.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
of
We wouldn't have
course.
gotten caught if it wasn't for the kid.
Of
Got
course.
out of the ways. I'm
You
still
know,
the same fuckhead that walked in here. So the
you
same fuckhead you shot at.
you should really calm down, sir, or you're gonna bust a brain bristle.
Cypher, you do eventually end up feeling a finger poking on your shoulder. As Cassandra ended up deciding to follow Arthur. Eventually,
Who did?
Jones'
Cassandra.
character. Cassandra.
Oh, Cassandra jumps here. She will look. Oh, it's you. You stopped crying.
Oh, good, and also something for the headlines.
Yes, yes, actually, that's kind of why I came. I
Good,
Cass,
you can now put it. Now you can put it in a goddamn newspaper. Fucking sheriff hot dog in the fucking outside.
Okay,
Oh,
let's get.
right now, in the police
Cass,
department.
Okay,
Cass,
An outsider. An
you.
outsider. I'm not an outsider. This is the town I grew up in.
Oh, good, and the local fucking horror some shit. I don't give a fuck. I need to get
Well,
this damn documents. Give
either
me
way,
the damn documents so I can read them.
e-
Get
either
none.
way, Mister,
Get out of
either
here.
way, Mister, Cass, CNN. If I could just give me a headline. I'm gonna do my job.
All right. Yeah, I'll let you do your job because I haven't been able to do fucking mine. Ugh.
I wouldn't get too close to him if I were you. He's ready to
I got
swing.
a plan, Arthur. Fuck's sake.
Ah, please, honey, I've dealt with far worse folk.
Uh,
I once
Okay.
interviewed. I once interviewed a serial murderer.
Yeah, with guards around. Um, there's no one here that's going to jump in.
Well, that is quite a fair point, but mm,
I mean, I've seen some of your reports. Yeah, it's been coming close. One time that one murderer tried to strangle you.
oh yes. Oh, but he was a sweetheart. Really, terrible man, complete sociopath.
sorry, but
I don't want to hear a fucking word out of you. I'm just
do
going to
you
point
really want
directly
me
at
to
the sheriff.
punch you?
Do you want me to fucking... I'm a fucking private investigator under
So that,
death
that
of
that's
the
the wait
family.
that's the hold on
Yeah,
that's the sheriff talking, right? Or
yeah,
Yes,
that's the
yes.
shit.
oh, it's gonna be
Uh,
it's gonna be
your
a hell of a headline. She just pulls out a notebook, starts writing shit.
your private eye does not mean anything against the sheriff of the town.
Yeah, but when I'm here doing a fucking missing persons report, that leads to their goddamn department,
Well,
and I catch them not even
I'm
on the
gonna
fucking
roll
job,
something here.
and I find them not even doing the goddamn job. That is a problem.
Arthur, what is your AC?
Well, what have you rolled to hit?
18.
Okay, yeah, you fucked me in the face.
Yeah, Bowser, you do in fact kind of just weren't paying attention for a second. But for the rest of you, you do see the sheriff just kind of just grit his teeth and kind of takes a deep breath from his nose before letting it out as he just turns towards Arthur and he just pulls back his fist and just uppercuts him in underneath his jaw. And Arthur, you can definitely feel the strength behind this punch as you end up taking like 8 bludgeoning damage,
Goddamn.
and
It's gonna be a
you end
hell
up
of a
stumbling
headline.
back like a couple spaces, like 5 feet from him.
Oof. Well,
You're
tried
really,
to warn him.
really fucking lucky I'm holding myself back.
Deranged sheriff harms innocent private eye. Oh, this is gonna be a good story.
Well, not exactly too innocent. I mean, he has been kind of belligerent.
It's just the one that I've been smelling may have litter on you.
What?
Hey, mind your own, okay?
I can't help it, my nose is very sensitive.
Well,
I'm just gonna walk past the sheriff and like shoulder check him as I walk past to get to the fucking files.
You're not gonna be able to find the files, you know.
Where the fuck are they then?
If you're gonna be in that horrible attitude, it'll be up your ass.
I don't think you want to do that. That would be very unsanitary to the files.
Well,
It was
come on,
being sarcastic.
Oh,
Aaron.
was it really?
Aaron, just I'll go get the damn file. Just give me a moment. And please don't. I know this goes underneath what I was working on. Quickly goes into the next room over from the file room. And from underneath his own desk, pulls out quite the stack binder full of files. And as he starts handing them over. Well, this is records on both Alyssa and Adrian. Each time they've been here, and times they've literally vandalized or anything else, or altercations with vampires.
Alright. It's
The
gonna
vampire.
grab all the fucking files and just sit down on the desk and start reading them.
I highlighted some important bits that any law enforcement would be interested in.
Really? Because from my perspective, the only thing they're interested in is your fucking ass.
Again,
Now, let me read these
They,
goddamn documents in peace.
they couldn't
And
leave you be. I didn't make my rounds into the town anyway, because it's part of my patrol routine anyway.
oh,
yeah,
you mean you
we should have.
actually patrol?
When he takes his meds and doesn't go into rutting season early.
Well, you must go. You must not take your meds, and you must be rutting a lot.
Again, this is the first time it happened to either of us. Now leave it alone.
Yeah,
It's going to be writing down any important information I find in those files. Just writing down the
easy to say,
Hadley's
but tell
names.
that tell that to all the missing people. Tell them to leave it alone.
Probably
Again,
most of these missing people wouldn't be fucking missing if you do your damn job.
Alistair finally turns around. And 3/4 of the missing people are from vampire attacks. And I've done my due diligence.
Do you have any proof that this was the case? If you do, please show it.
He throws out. He goes into his room again and throwing out a file upon file of the missing children reports with visible fang marks put into them,
He's just gonna
sucked
take
dry.
this. He's just gonna take this and just write it down. Just
I've been hunting these damn things and setting up perimeters as well. I don't do actual law, so my hands are tied in that regard. But I do what I'm employed to do.
Now the store.
well,
Yeah,
actually,
I know we fucked up.
um,
We did fuck up.
Uh,
well, clearly you
But
did.
I'm
Alice,
not
that is
gonna.
not what I meant. Go and
hmm.
take a breath. Go on a walk. Do you want me to use the handcuffs on you?
And
Go to a fucking house, you two.
there they go again.
I swear to God
I'm
damn
being
Almighty Jesus.
civilized this time, sir.
Just finish writing everything down and going through all
Just
the notes.
give him Aaron and Alyssa already and be done with it.
Well,
He's gonna have to deal with Alyssa anyways. If she burns down in one more building, our asses are going
And then he just
to be blown.
sighs and just writes down, so the little kid's an arsonist as well. Great.
I said Alyssa. The older sister is.
Yeah, that he's saying a little kid is an arsonist as well. He could be any of the two.
Well, now, Miss Reporter, you getting all of this down?
Oh, you know it. I'm getting all this down.
As Alistair walks by, he is.
There's only one thing that's confusing me. So half of these people are being taken by vampires. Half of these
They,
people just straight up disappear.
they say it's vampires disappear, Miss Reporter, but that doesn't still explain the strange going-ons and the strange magic.
Most indeed, most indeed.
According to what I know, all I have here is people disappearing and under weird circumstances to the point where they're not even in the rooms. And there's no sign of disturbance, and then the other half is just being attacked by vampires, and the usual windows open or they let them in. Then there's bite marks, no bite marks, death by weird causes, death by ritualistic causes, death by murder. I don't know why you have to specify death by murder. If you could have just said murdered.
I mean,
Actually, since think I
Mhm.
have sensitive ears, there might be somebody that could help you with that in town, but I will have to give you the directions or walk with you to help you out on that.
I'd rather not be walking next to someone who's potentially on the mating season. No, thank you.
I don't do date night tieflings regardless.
Ooh, racist as well. Racist and arranged.
Summer is giggling, trying to cover her thoughts.
Well,
Listen, what'd you expect? I am a news reporter.
I'm
probably
being
a good read.
sarcastic. I'm not being literally.
Welcome to the real world where anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
Well, I mean,
And
and this,
expect me, if this job goes well, don't expect me to sue your ass. If this job goes horribly wrong, I will be suing your ass into oblivion.
Or I can give you $2,000 to compensate.
Just writes down in his notebook, Sheriff trying to bribe me.
And bribing. Bribing. Say what?
sir, are you new at this job? Did you just get hired as the sheriff?
It seems like it.
I've never asked this. Regardless, there was actually original sheriff that was here, but
What
we
happened there?
haven't. That's the thing.
Was he one of the ones that disappeared and no one could find him because you were too busy rutting?
No. Look, I actually have been looking into these things. It's just when it
Have you?
comes down
Because most
to
of these
it,
are damn dirty as hell.
when it comes down, I'm gonna ignore what you just said there, but I'm gonna ignore that. But look, I've been looking into this for a while. This actually has been happening whenever every end of the year or in the middle of the year, we always end up running our festival, which originally it was a original festival that's meant to celebrate our old traditions. But whenever it gets close to it,
By any chance, and this is just a thought that just popped into my head. Do any of these people that have disappeared without a trace, have they had
there has been.
any similarities with how little kids been teleporting here?
He'll kind of just rub his finger on his like chin for a bit before he ends up speaking up once more. There has been similar cases of that, but when it comes down to so our mayor, who has been helping um, put magic detection on this town whenever there's a single hint of a trace of a teleportation magic or anything that happens, it only happens whenever the person is alone.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to stand up now, having all the information I needed. I need to speak with the mayor now. And never see your fucking face again, hopefully. Just leave the PD. Go fuck yourselves.
Eventually, the pregnancy needs to be nice.
Start walking and then just sit by a tree, just looking at all the notes. So there is similarities. The previous sheriff's gone. People teleported. They've always been alone. It is all. The mayor did walk in and moving some type of a tire and then putting something else on when I was back at the image. Maybe she was checking those magic detection devices of some type of building, something like that. Maybe. Or maybe something else. Maybe I just arrived at a time that they were gone in or something. Although she doesn't really look like the type. She's a little bit pale, though. A little bit. Moon elf, maybe? Maybe. That would be odd. Moon elf in the bayou. Nah, it can't be.
That's actually a good thought. Since you're thinking about that, roll either intelligence or history.
Intelligence check is a 3. Intelligence check. 14.
What was that?
A 14.
Since you're kind of talking yourself as you're just sitting, you're sitting on a tree or
Just sitting like under a tree.
on
Just
a
sitting like
tree.
under a tree. Just like gathering all my notes.
Gotcha. So, as you're kind of just thanking yourself for a bit, since you're now kind of looking back at that one moment where you did end up talking to the mayor, she did end up kind of giving you a similarity features when it comes to that of an Eldian elf. And
Um,
you have studied about sub races of elves before, but when it comes to like cases or anything related to that, you'd never come across anyone who's that of an Eldian elf.
well, I guess my visit to the mayor is gonna be really special.
And
Mm.
and like there's a bit of a small information roughly when it comes down to the fact that from what you could remember, since you did end up did he end up going to school? This is one thing I want to ask.
Yes, he did. He did.
Okay.
He is an a
All right. Since you do remember a small lecture session from one of your history teachers at one point, they ended up having a small lecture about a rare sub-race of elves called Eldians. Eldians are capable of generating rare and unique magical traces when it comes down to specific detection. But when it comes down to doing so, they usually have this tan look to them. But since you end up looking back at that now, she has been awfully whitish pale, but still have that hint of a tan color to her skin. But it is a bit odd. Especially since for the fact that usually aliens have normal hair colors such as red, brown, blonde, or dirty blonde. But when it comes down to a Alien woman with white hair, that is awfully rare.
Well, I'm going to now proceed to the mayor's place to speak with him.
Her.
Yes, I said them, but yeah, her.
I'm just pointing out.
Yeah.
You do manage to get the directions due to the fact that you end up looking at the map. Uh, the house itself is pretty decently sized, pretty simple. On the outside, it's pretty much this bluish gray color. And you do see it in the back of the house, since it's fenced in, there's this small lake pond that has this small patch of grass circling around it. And you do see that the lights are on from the inside since the curtains are closed.
And just knock on the door, in the front door,
How many times?
like 5.
Okay. As you end up about to hit your 5th knock, the door will end up opening, and you do end up seeing the mayor. But this time, she's wearing this long, short, white blouse dress, and her hair is currently up as of right now. And you do see that she's wearing a pair of reading glasses. And she's go, "Oh,
Hello there.
well, hello."
Did I disturb something?
No, not really. I was just reading for a bit, just to calm myself down, but that's about it.
Just for formality's sake, and just take out the ID, despite I don't always need to do it, but I do it for formality's sake. Just show that I'm the private investigator, and then just put it back and say, "I need to speak with you over what I've recently found out after going to the police department, going through some documents. If
Yep.
you got a few minutes to answer some questions that I may have."
She can like hold up a finger before she'll end up. Uh,
Don't don't ask why I'm wet. Please don't.
I'm not. I'm not
Thank
like
you.
that. Um, and she'll kind of just, in a gentle and kind manner, she'll end up stepping away from you from a side before she closes the door to her house with a key in hand. Uh, before she just looks back towards you.
Yeah. Is there anywhere you would find comfortable talking, discussing, having let me ask some questions?
Oh, nobody can hear us, but inside my house or outside near the woods is fine, but
Make as comfortable for you as you find. Anywhere that you enjoy, just have peace of mind while being talking with.
I'm completely fine if you end up asking a couple of questions. I wouldn't mind.
All right. Well, one of the first questions I do have is regarding the missing people. According to what I've written down after figuring this out, is half of them have been by vampire attacks and half of them have just been random disappearances. And some of them have been linked to teleportation, like the little kid that I've been sent here to find. Now, because this has grown a little bit bigger in proportion, seeing as multiple people have the same situation happen to them before disappearing permanently, I would like to know if there's been any way you've been able to prevent these from happening again, in terms of people just disappearing permanently after being teleported, or you found some way to make a deterrent for these types of magic waves.
I've been the one that's been supplying my magic each and every night when everybody's at rest. I've been. Look, I'm not young in physical status, but when it comes down to it, I'm pretty much centuries old. The only
Well,
one that's left currently.
I can kind of understand you being an Eldian elf.
Mm, this is one thing I went up saying, because usually Eldians wouldn't usually live as long as any other elf would be. For me, in this case, I've been cursed.
You wouldn't mind me looking at your teeth real quick?
If you think I have sharp fangs, I do not. But if you insist. And
All right.
she'll end up opening her mouth, and you can see there's not any canine teeth or anything that matter, just normal teeth.
All right. That is good. What you mean by you've been cursed? If you're able to answer that question, unless something prevents you from answering it.
That's the thing I don't really know. I have been studying into it, and I have tried dispelling it before, but it did end up resulting in almost ripping my body in half.
Ah, very well. Um, the sheriff did confess to me that you have uh, put some sort of devices, sometimes totems, that help detect magic in terms of people being teleported. Is that actually factual? Do you, may I see one of these things?
She will end up kind of stepping, not standing up for a bit, and she'll end up walking into a room away from you, and she'll end up eventually coming back out, and you see this wood totem of a wolf kind of just sit down on its hind legs, and you do see immediately that right in the center of where the jaws are is a bluish red ruby that is glowing and pulsing slightly.
All right. So that's true. About these vampire attacks, are they extremely consistent? Are they rare? Do they happen every now and then? Have any of them been
That's.
caught?
This is why I end up speaking about that. I have been trying to convince Alistar to not be killing near the town. That's one thing.
What do you
But
mean? What do you
he
mean by?
he lost his parents to a vampire attack when he was 10.
Is that why he's sucking the dick of the sheriff?
No, no, no.
So he hunts vampires. You've told him specifically not to kill near the town. Do you have any proof that he's actually killed any of them?
May I?
Sure.
Yeah, she should end up kind of hold her hand up right in front of her. Now, as you do that, make a wisdom save.
Okay, wisdom save. That's a nat one.
this is gonna cause a lot of pain.
Oh boy.
Yeah, as she pulls her hand up, you do immediately start to notice that her eyes just starting to glow this crimson red light from her eyes. And as she ends up like keeping her hand right in front of her, she'll end up saying, I do apologize, but this might hurt. And immediately, your vision goes dark black. And you're starting to feel your head throbbing with pain almost immediately right after that happened with your vision. But as you kind of just try to like get that pain subsided, your vision slowly comes back up, and you're looking from her point of view. But the surrounding that you see around you is very different. But you can definitely tell that this is right somewhere in the middle of the woods, from what you can tell. But the sun is not out; it is completely dark. She is holding a flashlight, and she would end up, from what you can see from your point of view, would end up holding up her flashlight a bit more, and you would end up seeing a young boy covered from head to toe, covered in blood, darkish tan skin. And you can see that he's wearing a baggy shirt and a pair of shorts. And he's surrounded by two large corpses of humanoid wolves around him. And you can definitely see a bit more that he has a short brown black hair, and you do end up saying, kind of off to the side on your right is a ripped apart corpse of a vampire, ripped in half around the torso. Neck is not intact. The jaw is ripped off. And since you see this scene before you, before your vision slowly starts to revert back to where you're currently sitting, but your eyes sting pretty bad.
Ah, ah, God, this is just like basic training. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. All right. So I imagine that little kid is Alistair.
Yes,
Guess as much. Just writes it down. All right. So town is every now and then attacked by vampires.
it don't. This is the one thing I'm still trying to figure out. Is that uh
May may I ask something? And this is really important.
yeah.
I noticed the poster up front that it's a type of blood moon festival that tends to happen every year. If I'm correct.
It's a tradition that's meant to celebrate the history on each and every single race, including people from the outside. To
Isn't it a little bit odd that as I went through the documents, more and more these disappearances happened a bit more during the blood moon, including the vampire attacks, than any other time of year?
not really, to be honest. Back then, there was only one or two attacks that has occurred, but recently it has been happening more and more. And the sheriff that I used to know was actually an old friend of mine, and he did end up went ahead and investigate the case for me, but he ended up went missing.
Alright. Has there been any murder cases that have happened that seem to indicate that this might be connected? Maybe some word some person that went crazy ended up writing, or some weird letters found near a corpse, something of the sorts. Could be maybe potential cult activity.
I suggest you to keep this um, between me and you. Confidentiality, of course.
Well, I have a clause that I don't disclose any of the information I find during an investigation until the investigation's over, where that is only disclosed to the family that I've been hired by or person, and that information is also tends to be held back just to mitigate certain situations. But you do have my word that whatever you say now, I will not tell anyone. And that is a promise.
Roll an insight check.
Insight. A 5. Goddamn fucking
Yeah, you're
dice.
not gonna be able to see, be able to see it, but
Hmm.
yeah. She'll kind of just sit there for a bit, pretty much quiet, before she'll end up speaking up to you. I. None of this has been happening due to the fact that Aaron's father was the one that has killed a son. A son that has been related to a clan that has been around here for centuries, around the same period as me. And when it comes down to it, they're extremely talented and highly skilled when it comes down to magic. Even
So
though,
you think this murder was potentially connected to what's happening currently?
yes, because the reason why I am saying this now is because it was used on me before.
Very well. I
Plus,
have a couple more questions. One of these is going to go a bit more personal, since I need to get a full background check in this whole situation that could lead to more information. Um, I'll just get the personal one out right now. That way, further questions are just simple. I've realized that you live alone. I know you've been living for a very long while, probably longer than I'll ever live. But is there a reason you live alone? Did you used to have an old flame who passed? Did something happen? And surely could you have killed the previous lover on accident? Is there something here that might have happened? Or is it just a situation of wrong place, wrong time type of thing? Where you just never managed to get around it? ruin
The
how.
the I have lived unknown for a while. It's a habit. I have lost people due to old age. That is now. And Aaron Thornton, who's the current sheriff as of right now, his father, he was my lover.
Alright.
I.
Now I do. Oh, good call.
The reason why I think that he has gone missing, and if anybody that has been related to any of these cases, or anything related to what happened in the past, is probably because they've been doing it out of act of revenge, or as any means of sending out a warning to me.
So you think he's been killed?
Yes. It's the reason why I've been kind of avoiding his son. Because I couldn't really bring
Mhm.
the guilt of saying it to him.
Now, this is speculation, according to that, but I also want to uh, ask a little bit of a further down, just to continue off of this. Do you think he has any potential enemies amongst townsfolk? Any gangs that you know of that he's dealt with before? Maybe some type of people he's just never gotten along with? Any other members of law enforcement that used to be around or are around that didn't get along with him?
Jared had a friend that was his son's godfather, but they both ended up breaking up. The friendship between the two after a scuffle ended up occurring.
Do you happen to know his name?
Well,
No? Alright.
I believe it has been a while for me, but his name was Noah. Noah North Nail.
Do you know for any reason why they ended up splitting apart as friends? If it's a bit odd for me that, someone you would make your godfather, you'd suddenly, or the godfather of your child, you'd suddenly break off all connections with him. Something must have happened.
I think it's because of what happened between the two when it came down to his wife, who ended up giving birth to Aaron.
What about the wife?
The reason why I think it's related to Aaron or anybody that has known his father in the past is because his mother went missing the night before she ended up giving birth.
Do you think possibly they could have had an affair?
I wouldn't know, but it might be a possibility.
Hmm. So, last question of the day, which is done with the personal things. And this kind of also revolves around the town. Do you know of anyone who has been acting not like themselves as of late, outside of the sheriff, which I caught shagging in the police department? Do you know anyone else who is been acting weird as of late? who's being a bit secretive or shady as of late? Maybe some names that I could go and ask some questions to.
Well, we do have a priest uh, who used to be going up and about, but he's been kind of holding up at the church. Which I would end up pointing out, it is covered by walls around it just to make sure that nobody would end up heading towards that direction if there was a sense of a raid or a bombardment of some sort, because that pretty much the church was converted into a bunker.
Bomb shelter. All right. Uh, is there potentially anyone you could tell me that I could ask around, ask them to see if they know anything a lot more in detail in town, like maybe like an innkeeper or something, librarian of some sort, someone who hears around and might know a thing or two.
Um, I wouldn't suggesting the tavern, the Woven Brawl.
Could you
Um,
could you send that to me written that way I can write it down, please?
I can just put it in the chat for you
Maybe.
because Wolfen Wolfen Brawl. But in short terms, it's Wolf Brawl.
Okay. Also, I do have one question. This one kind of just stood out to me a little bit.
Mm.
I have noticed that there's a little bit of an animosity towards tieflings, a little bit, just a tiny bit. I have noticed that not a lot come by at all. Is there any reason to that? Maybe some sort of event that caused this type of situation where not people aren't really
Um.
around in this place?
Okay. Jared's friend was a black elite tiefling, and let's just say he was also the reason why Aaron, who was very young, around the time when he was still a newborn, was almost killed. And let's just say that some of the people who live in that town just didn't like what he ended up doing. So he ended up being forced out, evicted, and was essentially, in some way, banished to not return.
And now this is just simply for the record. What's your at least first name and last name? That way I can keep it written down.
Noah,
No,
his
not that person. Yours.
mine.
Yes.
Okay, I misinterpreted that. I'm sorry.
Completely fine. Don't worry about it.
It's Willow.
All right.
Shadow Wind. I will type it in the PC for you.
Yeah. Shadow Wind. Okay. I wrote shadow. Now I got it. Okay. Thank you. Little bit. Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm now gonna go speak with, I guess, some of the townsfolk and get more information. Hopefully, finally put an end to this case I'm working on, potentially what's happening. I'm gonna like just do a pseudo gentlemanly bow, take like her left hand and like kiss the top of it, and just go, "Thank you for your
Oh,
time. And if you need anything, I could potentially buy you a drink and help you relax." Uh,
I would actually take your offer on that. Just, but I will probably be out in about an hour or two, so you might catch me by then.
Fair enough. I'll be by the wolf brawl now. Asking around. I I stick out like a sore thumb, so you will definitely see me.
No worries. Now, you take care, and try not to blow a blood vein, because I almost end up doing that.
Yeah. I'll try my best not to get angry, despite the situations that have currently happened. But hope you take care. I'm gonna just bow again and then just leave,
Alright.
and then just look at my notes and then just start walking to the town at
Question.
least.
Yeah.
Quick question, DM. In that vision, that third corpse, was that killed by Alistair or his parents?
You repeat that?
Um, in the vision, I know but his parents' corpses were down beside him, but you said there was a third corpse. Did Alistair kill the third corpse?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll perception to see if I can find a wolf brawl now that I have the name?
Yes. While you rolling that, I will end up snapping back to Elstor, Cypher, and Cassandra.
Not a 10.
Jan, yeah, it's gonna take a while for you until you eventually get a couple of votes warm up to you and give you the directions.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it did not show on the map, but yeah, I will cut back to Alistar.
Me, better, yeah.
Yeah, Alistar, Jump, well, Cassandra, and Cypher, since the three of you are currently still at the station.
My character was forced to walk off. I don't.
No, not like we had much of a choice considering.
Yeah, my character was told to go calm down somewhere.
Eh,
We never
I
specified
Yeah, I
where.
forgot about that, but thank you for reminding me. Wouldn't Cassandra or Cypher follow Alistar, or would they leave him be?
Have no reason to follow him.
Okay.
Cypher. Go ahead, Joe.
So, Miss Sapper, I gotta ask, what would be your statement on this whole situation that we find ourselves in?
My statement on this whole situation?
Yes.
No comment.
Interesting. Interesting. She's kind of scribbling away in her journal.
So, what exactly are you here for? What story are you trying to cover?
Well, I'm trying to find more information and just get a general statement on the whole state of Louisiana, but in particular, I am more specifically trying to find out more about this whole blood moon nonsense. I'm trying to find out more about all that, the strange traditions. It's not something well known in the bright lights of New York, and it's surprisingly becoming a bit of a catch this time of the season. And folks want folks have heard whispers and little tall tales, but they want the whole scoop, and that's why I'm here.
Really? And what whispers have you heard?
The stuff of children's tales, vampires, werewolves, Sociopathic monsters, the typical stuff.
I mean, are you saying you don't believe in vampires?
Well, not saying I don't, but people,
And
people.
werewolves?
Well, I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying. Well, obviously, I saw that tall brute turn into some terrifying mechanization creature, and frankly, I'm still completely terrified. But anyways, that's not important right now.
Both of
The
you
more
roll
important,
perception real quick for me.
I can do that. That is a natural one. For a total of 8.
Yeah. Uh,
For
uh,
you, Cadence, since
it,
you're walking up and about, this is gonna give you like an advantage.
Okay. Perception?
Perception, but since this is based on scent, you can be able to have an advantage.
and that's a 17 for Cypher.
23. It was either a 23 or a nat 1.
So, um, this
Yeah,
consent,
Cypher.
yeah, contender. You don't really see anything since you're busy doodling away in your notepad, writing down notes. Cipher,
Mhm.
since you're kind of just listening, kind of, but since you decided to kind of look to the side for a bit, you could have sworn that you saw a silhouette of a humanoid shape, um, kind of towards your left side of your vision,
Mm,
towards the direction towards the woods.
towards the woods. Uh, say there, reporter. I think there's someone stalking around over there. Why don't you go get the scoop?
Well, madam, with all due respect, I'm
And she
most.
just starts walking off. She's walking towards the direction.
But Alistair, I will end up asking, where would Alistair be currently?
He was walking down the street as he passed this person.
Oh, that's
He was, yeah, he was just within waving distance. So, does he recognize this person?
No, you don't actually. And the scent that you have just smell off of this person, especially for the fact that you immediately notice, for a quick second, but at the same time, your mind is kind of just you think that your mind is playing tricks on you, but in your point of view, it kind of smelled way familiar. You just don't know why.
Stopping in his tracks, sniffing the air. He would eventually start to follow it. First, it's a jog, going into a full dead sprint, into transforming into his pure jackal form, following the scent.
Cypher's following the what she saw.
By the way, Alistair is going to run like this right in front of Cypher, as right when he transforms.
Mm-hmm.
letting out a howl.
Is that? She just kind of says more to herself, is that really necessary with the howling? And she snaps her fingers, and her familiar appears from its pocket dimension, and she just points, and it flies off, getting an aerial view while she continues to follow.
Alrighty. So, I will end up asking this for a big second. What will you guys end up doing as of right now?
As of right now, she's following that silhouette she saw.
Alright.
Cassandra is not. She. Uh,
Yeah, she's she. She's how she sells by
she's not. She's not completely suicidal.
Essentially a
She,
pacifist. Gotcha.
No.
no, she's just a scaredy cat.
Gotcha. Um, Cypher, you do end up falling a lot behind Alistar. Not pretty far, but not too far. As Alistar would end up sprinting up ahead, heading towards the direction where he's still getting this odd but very familiar scent.
Mm-hmm.
And Alistar, I would end up asking, what would you end up about to do now? Are you going to continue sprinting towards the direction, or would you end up trying to call somebody? Or
Seeing how he doesn't carry, he left his phone at the police station because he left abruptly.
mm-hmm.
He has no one to call.
He has no way to. Well, I mean, you could howl for someone.
But no, eventually he would change into his hybrid form, still sprinting after them. But this is someone he does know, but doesn't know. Like something from a fever dream.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't end up saying this just now. As you continue to go after who this person is, I would like you to roll 2 separate 1d100s for me.
You want him to roll 2 separate
I
D100s?
want him to roll 2 separate 1d100s.
80 and
80.
in 4. Okay, I'm actually scared now.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
That's an 8.
As you continue to run towards this humanoid shape, but as you eventually come across this person, this humanoid furted shape, you can get a clear view of who this person looks like. They have a brownish gray fur. They're wearing tropical necklace with carved mahogany claws. A scar running across on the left eye, blinded and faded of color. An ear ripped and sliced right on the tip of the earlobe. And they're wearing a black sleeveless tank top shirt with blue jeans and a tail that has a charm hanging off on the tip of the tail. But as they turn a bit more towards you, you immediately stop in your tracks. As if it's on instinct. And you immediately fall unconscious. Blacking out for a quick minute, but before you eventually succumb to this unconsciousness, you end up hearing a small, gruff voice. And it does sound like somewhere in between, somebody in between their mid-60s or 50s. But it has that sense of an elderly presence to it. Before you hear a long last sentence that would end up running through your head if you end up waking up. If anybody does end up finding you. Grandson. And
Was this
we're
spoken
gonna end
out
up
loud?
ending it there for the night.
Was this spoken out loud or
Out loud.
okay?
Hooray.
You know what? I fucked around and I found out tonight.
See, kids, this is why we don't follow suspicious things we see in the shadows.
Cypher was there, and
Hey,
her familiar saw everything because her familiar could keep
technically,
up.
you know what? Technically, I was. If we're looking at map, I'm not too far ahead.
Exactly. So, yeah,
So,
Cypher and
and,
her familiar.
and I wasn't the only one pursuing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Cypher
So,
was right behind.
Cypher would end up seeing this happen. But again,
Cypher's. I thought Cypher said that they were more back here. It would have been Cypher here, and her about right here. It's like swap the two out because Cypher did not follow. Cassandra did.
I'm a ways away from everyone.
No.
no, Cypher's
Cypher
the one that
followed.
followed.
Cassandra did not.
Cassandra's not the one that did not follow.
I thought. Wait. Oh, I'm mixing people up. Okay, who's the wizard? Cypher.
I'm
Cypher.
Cypher's the wizard.
Okay. Because I'm sorry that that Nancy Drew voice you're doing, newscaster. I really just wanted to burn your notebook. Just, I literally have my lighter in my hand, just sparking it. I just want to burn your notebook.
Before I do end up completely ending it there,
Mm-hmm.
Cadence, you do have 3 guesses on who this person is. If you be able to figure out who this person fully is, you can be able to have a special side quest related to your character background story.
It's a were creature from the way you described it.
It's a work racer,
So-
yes.
You said grandfather.
No, it said grandson to you.
Okay, it said grandson, referring to me as it's like essentially my grandfather. Based on what I said. I really didn't mention anything about anything past his parents.
No. You did not. So it did give me an opportunity to do a little something to it.
So it would be one of the survive. It would be a grandfather that survived, or was it present during the vampire attack upon the tribe?
You're very close.
He actually commanded the vampire attack to happen on the tribe.
No. But you're very close when it comes down to him not being around.
He was banished.
Yeah. But again, your character does not know who this person is. But the scent has pretty much ingrained into you to where you would end up pretty much thinking that this does not make sense, but it smells familiar to you. You just don't know what.
Is it essentially? Could it essentially be? You said eldritch energy.
Yeah.
This is his patron.
Bingo.
His grandfather is his warlock patron who was banished.
Mm-hmm.
What y'all think of Miss News Reporter?
Not bad. It's just
I
I
didn't
will
imitate your accent.
She's the scaredy cat.
I'm gonna ask: is this side quest going to pop up later on? Or
I'm gonna go back to playing Baldur's Gate. I will catch you later.
No, it will be.
Later.
Alright,
It will be.
bye, folks.